At a busy construction site, a loud alarm jolts Levon awake. As the site's supervisor, he's been sleeping in his truck to stay close to the action. Quickly, he puts on his gear, jumps out, and gets straight to work. Next, Levon gathers the crew for the morning briefing. With an important inspection coming up, he reminds everyone to stay alert and keep the work moving. The team listens closely, and so far, everything seems normal. After the meeting, Levon heads to the office to file a report. Inside, his boss Joe is talking with his wife and daughter, Jenny. They're discussing project funding and the stress that comes with running a family business. Suddenly, Joe spots a black car pulling onto the site. Nobody recognizes the vehicle or its passengers. Levon steps outside to check things out. Two debt collectors step out and immediately confront one of the crew members, demanding payment. Levon jumps and stops them, but all he has on hand is a bucket of nails. When the men come at him, he throws the bucket and a fight breaks out. Soon, more thugs arrive. Levon fights back fiercely with whatever he can find until the gang finally backs off. The dust settles, but something has shifted. This isn't just a job anymore, it's personal. This is a working man. Minutes later, as Levon catches his breath, Jenny approaches. She saw the whole thing and is impressed but worried. She urges Levon to keep it quiet. Her dad would be furious if he found out about the fight. Levon agrees, and Jenny offers him a free meal as thanks. Later that day, Levon takes a break and heads to his father-in-law's house to pick up his daughter, Mary, who just returned from a birthday party. Before they leave, Levon meets John, his father-in-law. John hurls harsh insults, calling Levon violent and even a killer. But Levon stays calm and says his only focus now is being a good father to Mary. The two head out for lunch. Levon gives Mary a photo of her mother and gently tells her the truth. Her mom passed away from illness 3 years ago. To protect her from the pain, Levon left Mary with John during that difficult time. The next morning, Levon drops Mary off at John's house and heads straight to his therapy session. In the quiet room, he opens up about the guilt he feels and John's blame over his wife's death. Then, he shares his past. Levon used to serve in the British Special Forces. His last mission in Afghanistan ended tragically, with only him and a soldier named Richard surviving. Meanwhile, while Levon was overseas, his wife was fighting her own battle with depression. When he returned, she had already passed away. That loss shattered him completely. He left the military and threw himself into construction work, hoping to build a new life from the wreckage. The psychiatrist listens carefully, then tells Levon he's suffering from severe PTSD. He needs regular therapy sessions, and any intense emotional outburst could be dangerous. Because of this, Levon's time with Mary will have to be limited and closely monitored. Later that night, the scene shifts to Jenny, who is out celebrating the end of the semester with her friends at a nightclub. She approaches the bar and chats with the bartender. Unbeknownst to her, the bartender quietly takes a photo of her and sends it to someone, texting behind her back. Across the club, a bearded man watches Jenny intently, staying hidden in the shadows without making a move. Jenny laughs and enjoys herself, unaware of the eyes tracking her every move. When one of Jenny's friends gets too drunk and stumbles, Jenny helps her to the restroom. While Jenny is inside, the bartender sends another message. As Jenny leaves the bathroom, a woman slips out behind her. Moments later, a man suddenly grabs Jenny from behind, covers her mouth, and drags her toward the back exit. A car is already running, and before anyone can react, Jenny is gone. The next day, Levon arrives at the site and notices 2 police officers leaving the office. Inside, Joe and his wife are visibly distressed. Joe explains that Jenny never came home. Her phone is off, and the police won't act because it hasn't been 24 hours yet. Joe suspects this is connected to a recent wave of kidnappings in the city. Desperate, Joe offers Levon money, hoping he'll use his military skills to find Jenny. But Levon refuses. That violent, painful life is behind him now.
It's not who I am anymore.
Later that evening, Levon visits Richard, who is now blind. Richard listens carefully as Levon talks about Jenny's disappearance. Then, with quiet strength, Richard says if he still had his sight, he'd be out there searching for her. Those words hit Levon hard. After a moment of silence, he slowly nods and walks away. The next day, Levon goes to Joe's house. Inside, Joe sits alone, staring at an old video of Jenny playing the piano. Levon tells him he's going to find her. Those words pull Joe out of his sadness and give him new hope. Soon, the city is plastered with missing posters of Jenny. Levon loads his car with case files and maps, turning it into a mobile command center. His first stop is the nightclub where Jenny was last seen. Levon enters calmly, scanning the room while sipping a drink. The bartender immediately catches his attention. The man is quietly handing out small packages to customers, trying to stay unnoticed, but Levon notices everything. Moving deeper inside, Levon checks the security room and the hallway leading to the back exit. There, he spots a single pearl lying on the floor. He pockets it and leaves. That night, the bartender drives home, unaware there's a tracker under his car. Levon follows from a distance. After the bartender goes inside and takes drugs, Levon breaks down the door, gun drawn, and slams a photo of Jenny on the table, demanding answers. When the man refuses to talk, Levon drags him to the bathroom and starts waterboarding him in the tub. The pain is real, but the bartender stays silent. Suddenly, two men burst into the house. Levon reacts quickly, using the bartender as a shield while aiming his gun. As the door swings open, he fires without hesitation. Both attackers go down, but the bartender is caught in the crossfire. While checking the bodies, Levon notices a Russian Mafia tattoo burned into one man's chest. This is his first solid lead. He takes the man's phone and cash, then heads back to his car. Instead of leaving, Levon sits quietly, watching the sunrise and planning his next move. Not long after the shootout, a car pulls up outside, and three men step out. They're part of the Russian Mafia. Leading them is Alanov, a ruthless enforcer, followed by his nephews, Danya and Vanko. They enter the house, unaware that their associate lies dead just a few feet away. Meanwhile, Levon watches silently from a hidden spot. Inside, Alanov freezes at the sight, bodies sprawled on the floor, blood splattered everywhere, and the cash missing. Furious, he slams the table so hard it cracks. Then, he calls the Mafia's cleanup crew, ordering them to erase all evidence before the police arrive. After the call, Alanov and his men leave, still unaware that Levon has been watching closely, memorizing their faces and every move. An hour later, Levon arrives near Alanov's house. Instead of storming in, he sets up a hidden camera across the street, capturing every inch of the property. From his parked car, he waits patiently. One by one, Alanov's wife, Danya, and Vanko leave the house, and that's the opening Levon needs. Levon slips inside unnoticed, avoiding security cameras with care. Alanov is on the phone, oblivious to what's about to happen. Suddenly, Levon hurls hot coffee into Alanov's face. Alanov screams, stumbles, and collapses, losing consciousness. When he wakes, Alanov finds himself tied to a chair by the poolside, mouth taped, eyes wide with fear. Levon stands calmly before him, slowly tipping the chair backward, inching him closer to death. Then Levon slaps him hard. At first, Alanov assumes Levon is another enemy coming after the missing money. But Levon casually throws the stolen cash into the pool, treating it like trash. He's not here for the money. Next, Levon reveals a photo of a woman. Alanov falls silent. Under the pressure, he admits she's now with his son, Demian. That's all Levon needs. Without a word, he kicks the chair, sending Alanov tumbling into the water, still tied up, and he never resurfaces. Meanwhile, Yuri, Alanov's older brother and the ruthless leader of the Russian Mafia in London, arrives at the house. He discovers Alanov's lifeless body floating in the pool. Together with his sons, Danya and Vanko, Yuri watches the surveillance footage and sees that Levon was there. Furious, Yuri orders his men to find Levon at all costs and take him down. At the same time, Levon reaches out to an old police contact, seeking information about a man named Demian. He wants to know where to find him. When the officer hears Demian's name, he falls silent. He warns Levon that Demian isn't just dangerous, he's untouchable. Demian is a top figure in London's most notorious Russian crime syndicate, involved in drugs, extortion, and human trafficking. Even the police steer clear of him. But Levon isn't intimidated that he's ready for whatever comes his way. Seeing this, the officer finally shares a lead. There's a known meth spot near the Hiatus Bar, a hotspot for Russian Mafia deals. If Levon wants to find Demian, that's where he should start. That night, Levon walks into the Hiatus Bar like he owns the place. He scans the room, trying to spot Demian or anyone connected to him. His presence raises suspicion, and soon, one of the bar's men approaches. Levon stays calm and claims he's there for a big deal, pretending to be a connected dealer. It works. They escort him to a private room where he meets Dutch, Demian's right-hand man. Dutch wastes no time and asks why Levon is there. Levon plays along, saying he wants to buy a large supply. But Dutch doesn't believe him and signals 5 men to search Levon. In seconds, Levon takes down all 5 attackers with deadly precision. Just as he's about to finish off the last one, Dutch stops him. Watching Levon fight, Dutch realizes Levon isn't a cop. He's something else entirely. Impressed, Dutch agrees to the deal but sets one condition. Levon must meet 2 of his men at a cafe, 7 a.m. The next morning, Levon arrives at the cafe right on time. Dutch's men are already waiting. The deal goes down exactly as planned. After it's done, they hand Levon a burner phone and tell him to wait. Someone will contact him soon. Meanwhile, across town, Jenny is being smuggled into a high-end brothel disguised as a luxury business. She's stuffed into a massive suitcase and moved under heavy security. Once inside, a large man is waiting for her. But as he approaches, Jenny fights back fiercely. She sinks her teeth into his cheek, causing him to scream in pain. Not wanting any trouble, the man orders his guards to remove her immediately. Back in Levon's hotel room, the phone rings. It's Dutch. He tells Levon that Demian wants to move forward with a bigger deal, this time face-to-face with the boss himself. But there's a catch. Levon needs to dress sharp, suit and tie included. Later that day, Levon returns to the Hiatus bar and is officially introduced to Demian for the first time. Levon stays calm and careful, speaking softly and choosing his words wisely. He hands over a fake ID and spins a convincing story about being part of a major underground network. Demian buys it. The meeting goes smoothly and the deal is sealed. But right after, Levon slips into the bathroom and flushes the entire shipment down the toilet. He never cared about the goods. This was all a calculated move to get close to Demian, earn his trust, and penetrate deeper into the network. That night, Levon returns to the bar, following a lead from the bartender's phone. Hidden in the messages is a suspicious conversation revealing Jenny was a target. One photo catches his attention, Jenny with friends, but a stranger looms in the background. Levon doesn't recognize the man, but his gut tells him this guy is important. Levon arrives quietly, trying to stay under the radar as he scopes out the area. He's here to dig deeper into Demian's operation. But before he can even get inside, he realizes his face is already flagged on the club's security cameras. Somehow, that information has fallen into the wrong hands. Outside, Danya and Vanko wait. They're not here for talk. They want revenge for their Uncle Alanov. The moment Levon arrives, they strike. Levon reacts instantly. He grabs a bystander's motorcycle and speeds off, dodging bullets as the chase intensifies. He weaves through tight alleys, then plunges into dense forest roads, with Danya and Vanko right on his tail. The pursuit ends when Levon crashes straight into a police car. He hits the ground hard and tries to rise, but one of the arriving officers is secretly working for the Mafia. Levon is beaten, tied up, and thrown into a car with a hood over his head. He's being taken directly to Yuri's hideout. Danya and Vanko stay close, guns ready, determined to keep him captive. But Levon refuses to give up. Even bound, he struggles fiercely against the ropes, knowing this could be his only chance to break free. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out. The driver is hit. The car swerves wildly and crashes toward a lake. Levon breaks loose and fights back with everything he's got. Inside the spinning vehicle, he battles Danya and Vanko in a fierce struggle. With one final shove, Levon sends them plunging into the lake. The car sinks, dragging them underwater. Hours later, Yuri arrives at the shore. The bodies of his sons have washed up. He stands silently for a moment. Then his grief hardens into burning rage. Levon has killed not only his brother, but now both his sons. This is no longer about revenge. It's a full-scale war. Back at his hideout, Yuri calls an urgent meeting with the top Mafia bosses. They review old surveillance footage carefully. In one clip, Levon holds up a photo of Jenny, proof he's connected to Demian's trafficking ring. Yuri moves quickly. He sends his two deadliest killers straight to Demian, demanding answers. Who exactly is Levon? And why is he attacking their entire family? Meanwhile, Demian's control slips. At the bar, he explodes with fury. Jenny bit a key client, putting the whole operation at risk. Frustrated, he orders his men to kill Jenny and find a replacement immediately. But before they can act, Yuri storms in with his enforcers, eyes blazing with rage. He demands to know what's really going on. Yuri lays everything out, showing a photo of Levon, CCTV footage, and Jenny's connection. Suddenly, it clicked for Demian. The man he thought was just another buyer had used a fake ID to slip into their inner circle. Even worse, he handed over his real ID in return. Yuri grabs the ID and drops the bombshell. Levon used to be with the British Special Forces. He's not just a problem, he's a serious threat, and he's coming for Demian. But Yuri doesn't stop there. He digs deeper into Levon's past and uncovers information about his father-in-law, John. Within the hour, Levon gets a call from Mary's school. She hasn't been picked up. He tries calling John, but there's no answer. Worried, Levon rushes to pick up Mary and heads straight to John's house, only to arrive too late. Flames are already engulfing the home. Levon tells Mary to wait in the car. Seeing the fire, she starts to panic. Levon rushes inside and finds John barely conscious. He pulls him out just in time. Gasping for breath, John whispers a warning. The Russian Mafia is coming for them. Levon realizes his cover is blown. He quickly moves Mary to a safe house and ensures John gets to the hospital. Next, Levon takes Mary to Richard. Richard's wife agrees to watch her, and before Levon leaves, Richard shows him his old weapon stash. Levon gears up with knives, guns, and everything he might need. Richard offers to help, but Levon declines. This is his fight, and he's going in alone. Before leaving, Levon looks at Richard and promises he'll be coming back. Meanwhile, Jenny is close to death. Tied up in the back of a car, she's being driven to be killed by Demian's men. But Jenny fights fiercely. She kicks and struggles until the driver loses control and crashes into a tree. As soon as the car stops, she breaks free and runs into the forest, fighting for her life. After some time, she spots a police car and rushes toward it, hoping for safety. But the officer turns out to be working for Demian. In seconds, she's caught again. This time, they hand her over to Viper, a ruthless hitman sent to finish the job. He's about to pull the trigger when his phone rings. On the line is a powerful man who's taken an interest in Jenny. The order is to keep her alive until he arrives. Viper listens, then locks Jenny inside a room. Back in the city, Levon is already on the move. He storms into Demian's bar, moving like a shadow and silently taking down every guard in his path. Finally, Levon reaches Demian. With his gun raised and eyes locked on him, Levon demands to know where Jenny is. Under the pressure, Demian breaks and admits she is being held at the main compound. Levon wastes no time that he ties up Demian, throws him into the car, and forces him to lead the way. As soon as they arrive, Levon pulls the trigger and shoots Demian dead. Fully armed, Levon grabs his tactical gear from the trunk and rushes into the compound. One by one, Demian's men fall. Chaos erupts inside the building. Meanwhile, the man about to harm Jenny is stopped by gunfire. Levon's arrival sparks panic everywhere. At the same time, Yuri hears about the attack. With his enforcers, he calls Dutch, demanding backup. Dutch moves quickly, but not fast enough, as Levon takes him out along with every guard in his path. After clearing the compound, Levon kicks down the door to Jenny's room. He kills the guards and faces Viper in a fierce fight. It's close, but Levon comes out on top. Meanwhile, even while tied up, Jenny fights off one of Viper's last men. Together, they make a run for it. On the stairs, two of Yuri's enforcers ambush them. Levon handles them swiftly and precisely. The way is clear. Levon and Jenny jump on a motorcycle and escape, leaving the burning compound behind. From a nearby hill, Yuri watches his empire go up in flames. Desperate, he calls the other Mafia bosses for help, but no one answers. They have all given up. To them, Levon has already won. The war is over. Broken, Yuri realizes he has lost everything. Later, Levon brings Jenny home. Joe breaks down in tears and hugs Levon tightly. He offers Levon anything he wants in return, but Levon refuses. This was never about favors. It was about protecting family. With his mission complete, Levon heads to Richard's house and finally picks up Mary. The end. So the moral of the story is never mess with a dad who's got PTSD, a toolbox, and nothing to lose.